according to the classic books, loosely translated in English, it says here, validate any suspicion, recalibrate your move, that means risk management, and then rinse and repeat to fine tune. So there are a few steps here. Whatever it is, if you have any suspicion, you need to go and validate. Validate means go and check out and confirm or whether your suspicion is unnecessary or it is true. Okay, and then whatever information that comes back, you're going to have better awareness, and from that awareness, you recalibrate your move. That means you ask back, based on the new information, do I need to adjust myself? Do I need to adjust my stratagem? Do I need to do this? Do I need to do that? Or everything can remain the same? I don't know, but this is something for you to think about when you want to apply this part here. So then every time when you recalibrate AD and you want to push out AD, you can always rinse and repeat this stratagem to fine tune. Okay, but you cannot use this often because it might become a cry wolf effect. So in Chinese, the one in red is called 富者应自谋也. 富者, the moment you see this 富, it might have mean 地雷富. Okay, 地雷富. So this is the one, 地雷富. Now in 地雷富, hexagram 24 in AOM3, I think we learned one very important from this hexagram. It says turn back early if suspicion. 不远赴啦. If you can recall this one, we talk about this 不远赴. That means if you find something is wrong, the earlier you turn back, the better. This is called 不远赴. So same thing. The intention of 打草惊蛇 is you test it out. The moment with the test, you find that something is wrong, you quickly go stun. I mean reverse, stop whatever you are doing. Don't attack already. Recalibrate. This is what it means, 地雷赴, and then try again. So we said that in AOM2, no matter how far you've gone down the wrong road, you can still turn around. The earlier, the better. This is 不远赴. So there are many variations. So feel free to type in your own variation if you can think of any in the chat box. Number 1, you can use this stratagem to flush out ambush. Okay, to flush out, the other party's intention. Okay, if there's ambush, flush out the ambush. Or use this to alert the enemy. That means sometimes, we want to give enemy some hint that we're doing this, things like that. So we may want to use 打草惊蛇 to alert them, or to warn them. Okay, or to warn them. All right. So I think many countries are using 打草惊蛇 pretty frequently nowadays. I'll show you examples later. They're using this pretty frequently nowadays. Or you want to use this to scare away enemy, also can. There are so many uses of 打草惊蛇, but you must know your intention. Is it to flush out? Is it to alert? Is it to warn? Or is it to scare away? Or use this to see the enemy's reaction, also can. Depend on your intention. So this is a pretty versatile stratagem. Or use this to punish one, to warn others. So it's something like 指桑骂槐. That means you score one, but the message is meant for the other. So here 打草惊蛇 can also mean this way. You kill someone or punish someone and then make it as a warning for the others. Also can. And in some commercial world, proof of concept is also a way of 打草惊蛇. That means instead of going full-fledged, putting all your money into the project, you may want to do a small prototype first as a proof of concept. So this is one way of 打草惊蛇. Or doing pilot run is also 打草惊蛇. Or pilot run, like I think previously when they come out with Trace Together, they did a pilot run. So that pilot run is 打草惊蛇. That means once you do the pilot run, everybody know, you're doing this. Okay. So that means soon to come, everybody will have it. Something like this. So it can be a series of small attacks. 打草惊蛇 can be a series of small attacks, like guerrilla attack like that. So anyone can think of any other? Feel free to type in. So I've listed quite a number of the various patterns of 打草惊蛇 already in the slides here. Now I'm going to show you live example how people use it. For example, our in the political arena in Singapore, now our government use this very often. Almost every GE they will do that, and when they do that, it is 打草惊蛇 already. So like for example, last year, right? This is last year, 2020 in March. So they announced new electoral boundaries announced 14 N SMC, 17 GLC in the next election. Now, once they do this, when they review the electoral boundaries, this is already a 打草惊蛇 by itself. That means telling the whole world, okay, we are almost ready for election. And then the political, the opposition parties will wake up already. Okay, let's try to come out and think about our campaign already. So this is example of 打草惊蛇. So if let's say if I were to ask you where's the grass, where are the snakes, what is the intention, I hope you know to answer them. Huh? So again, based on what is your intention. So in this case, what do you think is the government intention? Mary says, see opposition reaction. Very good. Very good. I think so also. Or see their reactions, how they react. So for those who already very well prepared, okay, for example, very well prepared, you can see that a lot of things can come up in a very short time. All right. So their team form already, line up already, who go where, things like that. They are everything almost already. Yeah. Okay. So here's another example. China sent a record of 28 military planes into airspace controlled by Taiwan. This is pretty recent, in June. In June, pretty recent. Wow, I think this is a record. A record. So far, I think in the past they only sent a small number, but this time around, China sent 28 planes into the airspace controlled by Taiwan, and this happened a few days after US planning to send delegates to Taiwan. So this is a 打草惊蛇 as well. Okay, 打草惊蛇, and the intention is to, if you look at the previous slide, what do you think is the intention of China sending in a record 28 military planes into the airspace of Taiwan? Look at this list here. What do you think is China's intention? Chris said warn Taiwan and US. That's right. That's right. I thought so too. Okay. To warn Taiwan and US that, hey, anytime we can fly in 28 planes. If you want, I can send in another 2 to make up 30. Try me. Something like this. So, yes, they do this very often. Okay. Very often. All right. So, prevention. Now, if you don't want to be easily, succumb to 打草惊蛇 every now and then, because sometimes somebody may play 打草惊蛇 on you. So as a prevention, you want to stay upright, okay, stay upright so that, there's nothing that people do can scare you or get you worried that you may be found out, because of your wrongdoing and things like that, so let's be upright, or have integrity, I think there's a Chinese saying that if let's say you have done nothing wrong, right, you're not afraid of people knocking on your door at midnight. So there's a Chinese saying about this. Okay. So be calm and composed when people 打草惊蛇 on you. Remember, do not react, respond. When people 打草惊蛇, their whole intention is to see your reaction. How you react. Okay. So we don't want to react, we want to respond. So one way to respond, be calm and compose, and then have an exit plan. If let's say like you have done something wrong, or something going to explode, it's going to explode, and if let's say somebody do this, 打草惊蛇 on you, you better have an exit plan. That means your stratagem 36, how should you disengage? Or should you go for the shed the skin stratagem, your exit plan, basically. Countermeasures to 打草惊蛇 could be 以逸待劳. 以逸待劳 means you just wait and see. Do nothing, you just wait and see. Or 隔岸观火 is also wait and see. Or act blur, 假痴不颠 act blur. That means you just act blur 咯. 打草惊蛇 咯, you just act blur 啦. As though it is not meant for you like that 啦. So it's called 假痴不颠 act blur. Or 反客为主. Okay, 反客为主. Now, when US send in the delegates to Taiwan, they are also 打草惊蛇. Okay, they are also 打草惊蛇. For nothing, they send in delegates for what? They must be testing something lah. Or they have the intention of sending in the delegates as well. So they want to see China reaction. So what China did as a countermeasure, they used 反客为主. They mean they sent in these Record 28 military planes. Right? So yeah, so these are countermeasures that we can think about if let's say you're being subjected to someone using 打草惊蛇 on you. Let's see one more example here. UK or British not UK, British warship was found entering the Black Sea. Okay, and the Black Sea area belongs to the control of Russia. So I don't know how it landed up there, but somehow this is a very obvious 打草惊蛇 lah. Or for nothing, want to test the water for what? Okay, so how Russia retaliated with this 打草惊蛇 is it opened fire. Okay, but of course it's a warning shots lah, open warning shots lah. So 反客为主 So Russia also use 反客为主. So in terms of these stratagems, you find that many sovereign countries actually use 打草惊蛇 a lot of time. And the party receiving the 打草惊蛇 also use 反客为主 a lot of times. No choice because if you don't respond in a certain manner, right? The aggressor will take it that either you dare not voice out or you don't have the capability to fight back. Therefore, you have to swallow the pride. Something like this. So like China, no choice. You test me, I test you, I test you back. I send in the 28 planes. Anyway, who suffer? Taiwan suffer. Okay, right? All right. Okay, so I've covered the first stratagem for this module. So any quick questions before we go for a 10-minute break? Any quick question on whatever stratagem that we have covered before? Means 借尸还魂 means something is already obviously dead, but somehow this stratagem allows us to borrow the corpse and then bring back it alive. So this is the stratagems. So in according to classic book, the what do you call it? The loosely translated English, it says this: don't leverage on something you can't control. Okay, lend him your strength at his request. It's a bit funny to the way it's scripted. Don't leverage on something you can't control. Lend him your strength at his request. And then how does it tie it back to 借尸还魂? Sometimes Chinese has a very different way of thinking. But actually it's not wrong also. Okay, not wrong also, because if you want to resurrect the dead, right, you must be able to control the dead, right? Otherwise, it become a very deadly ghost, all right, or a zombie or vampire. So you must be able to control that unknown the moment you resurrect that thing. Okay, so in a way, it's not wrong to say don't leverage on something you can't control. And then lend him your strength at his request. That means when the vampire asks you to help him, then at his request you help. And that's how you bring the dead back. Something like this. So this is what it means. So if you look at the Chinese, the one in the red one, 非我求同盟，同盟求我. This one sounds familiar, very familiar. This is coming from 山水蒙卦. Okay, 山水蒙 means hexagram 4, the learning 卦. Now, teacher, it means here 卦辞, teacher doesn't beg to teach, students beg to learn. So means like that. At his request, then you help him. Okay, so something like this. So again, you don't leverage on something that you can't control. This is 非我求同盟，同盟求我. Now, for this stratagem to be effective, number one, like I said already, don't leverage on something you can't control. Number two, you must have foresight. Foresight means that date that you are trying to resurrect must be usable, must be useful for you. If it's not useful, then what for put in so much effort to resurrect the dead, right? So must have foresight that it's going to bring you some benefits. So there are two steps involved in this 借尸还魂 in case you want to execute this. Number one, you must be able to borrow the corpse. Okay, so the choice of the corpse is very important because you must have foresight, and also the corpse must be something that you can control. Okay, so leverage on something already deemed worthless but with high intrinsic value. Okay, so think about it. And you look around, and there are many people who are very good at using this. Okay, a lot of entrepreneur is very good at using this, borrow the corpse and resurrect the dead. So they are actually, they look at something that is already deemed worthless, on surface is worthless. You give someone, or you pay money for someone to get, they also don't want. So it's how worthless that one is. But you're able to see that it still has some intrinsic value, and that's where you are able to resurrect it. Okay, so number one, borrow the corpse, step one. Step two is, once you're able to borrow the corpse, resurrect it. Okay, and use that to achieve your intention. And because once you resurrect it, you must be able to control it. Okay, if you can't control, then it become a monster you can't control. So there are many variations. So like I say, if you can think of any, have you seen any examples out there, or you can recall any, type in the chat box. Let's share with the class. So variation number one, pick. Okay, pick means you take lah. So nobody want you take or like revive abundant items, technologies, brand, tricks, old forgotten idea, etc. So like retro lah, repurpose lah, rebrand lah, all these are examples of 借尸还魂. So like abundant items, like Garanguni. Okay, Garanguni, they are the one best using 借尸还魂 because people throw away, to them got value one. To the Karangoni got value, so they take it. They take it, and then they repurpose it, rebrand it, or resell it to some other people. Okay, that is pick. Steal means it's not easy to go and get it to become yours, so you steal. Like I say, don't steal. Don't steal. And examples of stealing means pirated version. In the past, when digital world is still not that commonplace, when we have a DVD, videotape, and things like that, people tend to go and copy, and then become a pirated version. So you see those blockbuster movie, you go into JB, you can get those pirated VCDs. Last time, many years back already. So all these are also 借尸还魂. If the next one is snatch, you can't pick it up, you can't steal. What you can do is you obviously purposely go and snatch as a last resort. Then me go and really physically snatch. Or swap. Okay, or swap. Last one is buy over, or you buy over. Buy over. Okay, buy over acquisition. There are many more. Any examples from any one of you? If not, I show you examples that you could have remembered. Gongcha. Okay, Gongcha used to be the industry leader in bubble tea. All right, so back then, whenever you see a Gongcha outlet, the queue will be damn long. Damn long. So I think at one time when was that? I think 2018, 2019, if I'm not wrong, the franchisee in Singapore decided to drop this Gongcha and bring in, I can't remember because I'm not a bubble tea man, not a fanatic of bubble tea. Anyone can recall? They drop Gongcha, they bring in what? Which brand? I can't remember. Okay, so then that brand didn't seem to do any better than Gongcha. All right, but someone else noticed that Gongcha was dropped. I think they resurrect this Gongcha. Okay, resurrect this Gongcha, and then Gongcha became again another popular outlet to have long queues. But of course, not due to COVID. There are some outlets, even because of COVID, the queue is still long. Mary say thinks Liho. I think so. I'm not too sure, so I cannot verify whether it's Liho or not. Okay, I think so lah. But there are so many brand now of bubble tea. Holin, Liho lah, and then there's one 3,000, don't know what lah. I don't know lah. I'm not a fan. Okay, so this is one example. Okay, someone discard it, deemed worthless already, discard it, but another people go and resurrect, and then bring it back to Singapore. This is another example. Okay, across the border, and this is like an old trick being used over and over and over again. Remember, I think this was before the most recent GE election in, can't remember which year, 2019 or And anyway, this happened in 2019 again. Anwar had always been accused of sodomy, sexual assault claim, and things like that. And this was like an old trick. Every time being used, he had to go into the jail again, prison. So I think just before the election, there was another claim against him of sexual assault nature. Okay, so this is again a classic example of 借势还魂. That means reuse back the old trick. Now, reusing back old trick, if you use it often enough on the same person using the same trick again, it may backfire lah. It may not work anymore. So it's like cry wolf thing lah. Again or people already expected that someone will bring this up again. Okay, so this is one example that to show you this has been overused already lah. Like I said just now, Garanguni is a classic example of 借势还魂 because people throw thing, they pick thing, and then they make good of it. All right. Even our political party also use this 借势还魂 stratagem. A few years back, SG50. Okay, SG50. So the government decided to use LKY during the SG50 to boost up everyone's morale, and the spirit, So yes, this is what they did. They resurrect LKY in that sense. 借势还魂. Now, in terms of technology, also got people resurrect the date. So for example, this one. Before COVID-19 even came in, this Singapore firm, they were actually testing out or developing some kits, some test kits for use to detect lung cancer. Okay, to detect lung cancer. Now, because of COVID-19, I think this was stopped. This project was stopped, but that team decided to 借势还魂. They mean, although it's deemed worthless now because of COVID-19, but they reselect the corpse. I mean, they pull up, borrow the corpse. They mean this breath test kit, and then repurpose it to suit COVID-19. Okay, repurpose it to serve COVID-19, and they are using it. I think the government is testing that out lah, clinical trial lah. So this is an example of 借势还魂 as well. Can you think of any? Now, countermeasures. I list a few of them. Some are from my experience, some are from the book. So, I list them out so that in case you need to find some countermeasures, you can always refer to these slides or that PDF that I sent to you. You can also refer to the PDF. Okay, so what are they? Number one, 远交近攻 means you prevent far, attack the near. That's one of the countermeasures. Number two is 无中生有. 无中生有, you just make up something, some gossip and some rumors, about that dead corpse. Okay, so like, this one, bad luck if you do this again, something like this 无中生有 lah. Okay, next, 瞒天过海 is also as another example of countermeasures. Next, 借刀杀人, borrow a knife or borrow someone to go and execute whatever you want them to execute without you being in the picture. So this is 借刀杀人. Or 调虎离山 is also another countermeasure, probable examples. Okay, so these are the countermeasures. So any question on these countermeasures? Anyone? Can anyone think of as real life examples that you know of? 借势还魂. Okay, if not, then move on. S15, lure the tiger away. 调虎离山. 调虎离山, it happened in the real world as well. That means you really lure the tiger. That means the tiger that matters the most, you lure the tiger away so that you can do something to either the tiger or the den where the tiger lives in. So you have two choices. You lure the tiger away so that either you can do something to the tiger or you can do something to the den. Loosely translated in English, it means use natural conditions to trap your enemy, create deceptions to lure him out, and then limp him successively. So it's like almost like close the door, capture the thieves, something like this. So that means you must be able to lure him somewhere, trap him, and then limp him. Okay, so the word here limp, if you look back at the Chinese wording, it means 王翦来连. Okay, 王翦来连, 简 means limping, 简 means limping. So this must come from the hexagram 39. Okay, 水山简 39. And when we look at 39, it means can't move forward and can't retreat. 王翦来连, this is exactly words that you can find in line number 4. Okay, line number 4 of 爻辞. 王翦来连, that means you can't move forward, you can't retreat. So our intention of using 调虎离山 basically means you want to put him in a position whereby he can't move forward, he can't retreat. That is exactly the intention of this limping quad. Just like this picture that I've shown you before in AOM2. Now, another this is a bonus tips. Another hexagram can also suggest using 调虎离山, which is 折水困. 折水困 means trap, confine. Same thing. Means you want to lure this person to somewhere else, to his disadvantage one, and then trap him. So your intention is either to delay him or to do something to him, or so that when he's trapped inside that place, you can do something to his base or his hometown or his base or his office or his company or country or whatever, right? So there are variations up there. Feel free to type in the chat box if you can think of any. Variations number 1, lure the enemy away to disempower him. So when let's say the enemy, when he was at home, is very strong, very well supported, a lot of guards around him. So you have no chance to go near him. So one way is to lure the enemy out of the mountain, I mean out of his base, so as to disempower him. So that means he will be without all this peripheral protection. Next is to lure enemy away to disempower the base. Okay, to disempower the base, meaning that this person is the source of strength or source of power for that base. So if you want to attack that base, you couldn't. It's because of that one man. So what you need to do is to have to like 釜底抽薪, you remove the burning woods, you have to pull out that source of power away, and then while the guy was away, you attack the base. So example could be like, for example, soccer game, away game and home game, So it's like most of the players, they will perform better. Most of the players will perform better when playing home ground. Okay, because this where they feel empowered. The moment they play the away match, they feel a little bit disempowered. So they tend to, most of the time they may lose the game by a score or two, something like that. So home ground give you the advantage, home ground advantage. So something like this. Now, for this to be effective, you must first know very clearly who you want to lure away. That means that person that you want to lure away must matter to you or to your plan. So your choice of tiger is very important in this case. And then next, the lure or the bait must be effective. So you may want to use this in conjunction with 连环计, means the interlocking stratagem. You have to pull in another stratagem. So who to lure away, you got to think about who, and then decide, is the PM that you want to lure away, or is it the king you want to lure away, or is it the second man you want to lure away? I don't know, depending on your situation. Next, the lure must be effective means you probably may have to use 三屋抽梯, another stratagem to help you with this. 三屋抽梯 or 美人计 or 抛砖引玉, to come in to tie up with this 调虎离山 to make it work better. Okay, so the lure may have to tie back to other, this lure must be tied back to other stratagem and used as a interlocking stratagem called 连环计. Now, I'm not sure anybody had encountered this scheme. I call it scheme lah. I don't know whether it's a scam or not lah, but it's a scheme lah. That you know someone invite you to China. Which city is that? Let me see. Nanning. Nanning in a province. Is it a province? A city, a southern city in China. And when he invites you, or he or she invites you, he say that, okay, don't worry, your trip there will be fully paid. That means air ticket lah, accommodations lah, makan lah, everything, the whole trip there, 2-3 days will be fully paid. All you need to do is go there and join. So basically, this is one of 调虎离山. Okay, 调虎离山 means the moment you're being lured away from your home base, which is Singapore, to Nanning in China, you know, there won't be friends, relative, parents, or spouse to go and dissuade you, you know, hey, don't buy this, don't buy that, don't pay money, you know, things like that. Nothing. So disempower you. And then while you're there, you're being trapped over there. So what do they do there? This I heard. I'm not too sure. Maybe any one of you has a more intimate story to share regarding this. I feel free to share. But this is what I heard, because it happened that some clients came to me for prediction guang. You know, should they go or not? But they didn't share that it's a Nanning scheme lah. Huh? So they just say that there's an opportunity. But anyway, the story goes like this. They will invite you over, they tell you it's fully paid, so they'll bring you there and they'll make you feel like king and queen. That means really pampered all the way, pampered all the way, eat good stuff, travel around the city and show you, you know, tour seeing, things like that. And then after that, maybe at night or what, they will bring you through presentation, and then show you, wow, you know, the future plan of Nanning City. And then it is a government support, backed by government, you know, kind of project. So it's a massive and it's trusted. So they use lure like this. The lure is free, fully paid. Or fully paid is like 抛砖引玉啦. I mean, throw a brick to attract the jet to come out. Okay, then after that, they will use the 关门抓贼 ma. You fly over there already, you can't come back that easily already. So it's 关门抓贼, you got to stick with the itinerary, whether you like it or you don't like it. And then they'll brainwash you. Okay, so yeah, so this is the scheme here. And you can see from this article, the header say, many fall prey to scheme after you losing up to 150k ringgit in investment. So they lose lah. So whether it's a scam or not, I don't know, because the article didn't say it's a scam. It just says it's a scheme. Okay, so if anyone has any more, any better intimate story to tell, you know, feel free to share. So this is one example of 调虎离山 that scammers use. Next, in real world also, many years back, when Thailand isn't under military rule at the time yet, still, you know, democratic with a PM. I think was under Taksin, if you can recall. So the military want to overthrow and then take power. So what they do is, you know, they wait until Taksin has an overseas trip. Okay, I mean somehow is an indirect 调虎离山 so it go 顺手牵羊 by the way, on the way, you know, since Taksin is going overseas trip, you know, to other country. So that will be the time that this tiger been lured away. Okay, but this is an indirect lure because they don't have to do anything. Something else lure him away. So this is a lapse that the military leverage on. And when he was overseas, the military take over as a coup or military coup. So up to now, you see this general now I think is acting as a PM of Thailand. So this is another example of 调虎离山. Another example, 调虎离山, happened pretty recently. You can see the date here is May 2021, this year, May, not too long ago. I don't know anybody has seen this article before. China student in Singapore. Okay, a China student, but in Singapore, post blindfolded, get in kidnap scam. So post blindfolded, all these things. It's a very elaborated story. I think later, if or tomorrow, if I have time, we'll go into details about this story. But what happened was that the intention of the scammer was not against the China student. The intention was to get a ransom from the China student parent. So what happened is that I think they did some elaborate things on the China student, and then convince him that he was being investigated by China authority and things like that. So need him to go somewhere else to stay. So lure him away to stay with in some other places lah. And then I think in doing so, he has been persuaded to take photo blindfolded some more. I don't know what happened. We can go into the detail. So once the scammer got a photo of him, this students blindfolded and gagged. So what happened is the scammer took the photo and sent it to the parents, say that, hey, your son has been kidnapped. So if you want us to release him, pay this money. Okay, so this is another example, but this time around, this example is not to attack the student, but is to attack the home base, means the parents. But they have to lure the tiger first. The tiger is the China student. Now, countermeasures. If let's say let's say you thought you could be a victim of 调虎离山, right? You can always do a release to recapture lah, 欲擒故纵 lah. Means but you must be stronger than them, that you're able to capture them and then release them, say don't do this again, things like that. Okay, so this could be a countermeasures. Any quick questions on this? Okay, if not, let's move on to the next one. Stratagem 16, release to recapture. That's nice. Okay, we'll talk about this, release to recapture. 欲擒故纵.